Hey guys, my name is Lacy, and this is my testimony and how I found the Lord. Just a little background on me. I am the middle child of 7 kids. I was baptized Catholic. My mom took us to a lot of different churches when we were younger. Essentially, after my father passed away when I was 5, it was very hard. And then after a while, we just stopped going to church altogether. And, when I was younger, my mom had a lot of loser boyfriends. And at one point, because of my mom's poor choices in men, we were actually taken away and put in foster care by the county. I don't remember how long we were there. I don't even remember how old I was. I don't remember any of those type of details. I would have to say I was 5, 6 years old, possibly, maybe 7. And then as a kid, we moved around a lot. So, I never really had a chance to make any I made friends, but, it was hard. And then when I was in 8th grade, we lived in Rochester, Minnesota, and there was a event that happened for a week during the summer. It's called Rochester Fest. Well, they had one event where it was called Kids Under the Tent, and me and my siblings went to this. It was a Christian-based ministry, and that's where I found the Lord. And they asked us at the end of the week, those who would like to welcome Jesus into their heart as their Lord and Savior, please pray on it and see if that's what you want to, if it's in your heart what you want to do. And I prayed, and I was pulled to the front because I was like, wow, I really want the Lord in my life. So I was saved that day. And then after that, my sister and I found a church to go to. Our mom never came with us because she would be working or sleeping because of working, single parent, and at the time there was 4 or 5 of us in the house. So, and we would get a ride from, people that we went to church with, whether it was our friend or the minister's wife or pastor's wife. So, and then some stuff started going on in the household that got really rough, and we just stopped going all together again. And it was really difficult because at this time my mom, my 3 younger siblings got taken away and put into foster care. And because my one sister was old enough, to they couldn't take me because I was considered old enough to make my own choices. So I was allowed to stay in the home. And one of my younger sisters was allowed to come back home too, because she was at that borderline age where she was able to make the choice of what she wanted to do too. We both had guardians that liked them and stuff. And unfortunately, my mom was deemed unfit by the county, and her parental rights were terminated to my youngest sister and youngest brother. I haven't seen them since they were, I think, 7 and 8 years old. So that's been really tough on me. So, I pray about it a lot, hoping that someday I'm able to see them again, because I miss them and I love them dearly. And it really hurt because my mom tried did her best. She was a single parent. She was working 2, 3 jobs. I grew up pretty quick, even though, I had an older sister in the house. I was the one that, made dinner. I was the one doing laundry. I was the one making sure everybody did what they needed to do. So I grew up pretty quick. And then in high school, I hung out with a lot of older kids because, I just didn't really fit in my eyes. I didn't feel like I fit with any of the, kids my age. So I actually, it was like the last month or two of my 10th grade year, I just decided, school is lame, and I stopped going. So I actually dropped out in my 10th grade year. And at that summer, we actually ended up moving from Rochester to another town. We were still in Minnesota, but we moved 3 hours from Rochester. So we ended up in a new school district, a new area. So I decided, hey, I want to go back to school again. That was really dumb for me to stop going. So I got back in school. I actually met my oldest daughter's father in high school. We were high school sweethearts, and I actually had her at 17. And that was really hard, being young. And her father turned, after I had her, turned very abusive, and actually was arrested for beating me. And he tried to control everything I did, and I couldn't do it anymore. So I left. And then shortly after that, I actually met my ex-husband, and we got married in August of 2008. Not August, October of 2008, sorry. And we were married for little over 2 years. We were married a little over 2 years. We actually separated before our 2-year anniversary because he wanted to be with other people. And I was like, fine, go. So we ended up getting divorced in February of 2011. And while I was going through that process, I actually met my husband, whom I'm with now, and that's Ryan. And shortly after him and I got together, we actually found out that I was pregnant with our daughter. So we recently actually got married almost a year ago now, but we've been together for almost 9 years. So Ryan actually was, on the internet, on learning things, and he found Jonathan Kleck's videos. And, he showed them to me, and I actually understood, and what was being shown made sense, and I could see what was there. So, we watched those videos, and, I confessed to the Lord again, how sorry I was, and asked for forgiveness, and, I'm not saying it's not hard to, to be, how do I put it? It's hard to, nobody's perfect. We all stumble, we all make mistakes. I'm still learning. I mean, I don't lie. I see everything. I understand everything. It's just, there's those moments where it's hard not to get angry with people when they say things. So I'm working on that. It's a work in progress. And then my husband actually found another gentleman named Michael Spears. I've seen his videos as well, and I was really glad that I was allowed to come into a chat room with other people who believe and who see the Lord for who he is and what he stands for. And so, like I said, I'm doing this to just for somebody to see that, you don't have to be perfect to be loved by the Lord. The Lord loves everyone, but it's up to you to open your heart and let him in. So, the Lord is my Father, and I love him greatly. Thanks, guys.